And so every belief we have in ourselves or in the governments or in the church or in the, the education system, the health system are going to be up for grabs. And I think the financial markets have started to show that because, obviously I have sympathy for those who have lost money, but much this business of buying things on credit doesn't mean that that's authentic. That says that's a mythology, that's a fantasy. And therefore, that was the first fantasy that had to be put in the fire. Do you actually own this, or is this only in your mind that you have a connection to this? And so the credit markets had to be the first thing that were tested. And I'm sorry for anybody who got caught into all of that. But truly, the authentic self is being challenged. And whether that comes through loss of job or for ill health or through loss of a house, or it really is making everybody says, what is true to my heart and what is just a dream or a belief that doesn't work for me anymore.
Sure. And again, for perhaps people that have been following it, I guess I'm one of them, the date of 2012 has been something that I've pondered certainly the last sort of 6 or 7 years, and of course it keeps getting closer. But it's interesting the fact that you mentioned that beyond that, because a lot of researchers or writers about that don't seem to be able to see much beyond that, whether their belief is that it's in catastrophe or a new dawn. Is there any sort of suggestions that the person you have that people either aware or not aware can do in changes they can make now that sort of line themselves up with future events, that it's going to be a smoother ride for them?
Absolutely, and we don't. If you ask any of the indigenous people, most of them, I have to say, are talking about tremendous calamity between now and 2012. Now, I don't give energy to that because it's not what I have been told inwardly and by my own teachers, and I don't feel that has to go that way. I mean, I really say that it doesn't have to be that way. Nothing is set in stone. But if it takes a calamity to get us to stop being so caught up in, I'm not interested in the material, but lost in the material, that our identity is lost in what we do out there, and that we've forgotten that we are first and foremost a loved, eternal being, that is what the universe is trying to get us to remember. And so if you ask me what we need to do, first of all, we need to make our life simpler. We've made it complicated. So anything that we're holding on to, that either we're holding on to for fear or shame or guilt, or that we've forgotten about. It's even old love letters or, the clothes we can't fit into anymore. This is a great time to spring clean and say, what belief system, what fantasy am I holding on to that I need to burn, I need to get rid of? And that then opens the door to say, what's true to my heart? Now, for many years, and I'm, Tom, I've been an intuitive all my life, i.e. I never lost my connection to the other worlds. And I've taught people, I can't teach people to be intuitive because everybody is. It's listening. And so, listening to our intuition, listening to our heart is not about being sentimental. It's asking ourselves those questions. What am I doing from fear and what am I doing from love? What do I not enjoy anymore? Because enjoyment is about the heart. What am I not excited about? And I'll say is the freeing up of doing things that you're not needing to do. What am I doing that? Because even though I can do it, it doesn't mean you should keep doing it. What am I doing out of duty or responsibility? All those things are being asked now of us, to be able to understand that we were never meant to be in punishment or suffering. We were meant to be free individuals. And what we're being given the chance to do, Tom, is to clean up our karma and to say, if you weren't being held because you had a fear of not being enough, I want everybody just to step fully into their power, fully into their authenticity. But they can only do that by letting go of a lot of the rubbish that is surrounding us all and getting back to what is pure to your own heart.
I can't put that better. I mean, I guess a lot of people possibly listening will think, well, that's fine, but I've got bills to pay, I've got mortgage to pay, and I can't follow,
And I'd say, Tom, I've worked 30 years in the health system. where actually your body doesn't give a damn whether or not you've got bills, because I've seen people get sick and they can't pay the bills anyway. I'm saying is, you like it or not, make any excuse you like. This is such a tremendous growth period that our small desire concerns, and a listener may say, it's not small to me. And I'm saying we are all more than our bills. And I am trying to tell everybody, it isn't meaning that you should go and live in a tent and give up life. It's where you fear poverty, it is what you will attract. If you feel that you're not good enough, that's what you attract. When you step into understanding that you are not being punished, you're not having to create, we step into our own self. There are things that I have worked with people who have had cancer and life-threatening illnesses, and they say, if I hadn't had that illness, I would not be the person I am now. And even though they had to give up lot of things, and even, potentially their life, they say, I would not go back to the time before my illness came. And so...
They needed such a dramatic thing, because otherwise they wouldn't have let go.
Yes.
It's something painful that had to happen.
Exactly. And, I can't put together I can't work with people's fears at the level of what if I don't have, because when we believe, we will never have, that's all we create. Nor am I talking about being hyper-optimistic and living in a fantasy world. I'm asking people to be honest with themselves in the dead of their night to say, is being miserable worth it for just having this relationship, this job? There's got to be something better that you're looking for than just the drudgery of trying to get to retirement so that you can end your life in a certain way. I'm calling on the people who say there's something more.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Christian, obviously we could spend all night talking. I think that there's so much you probably have to say, and indeed have written in your books. I think it's probably a good point to say, anyone listening who's interested in what Christine has to say, do go to her talk in London. I will be there myself. I just take at this point to thank you very much for your time with us today. And is there a website people who are interested in learning more you can visit?
Yes, please. Do go to its easy website. It's christinepage.com. And we've got on there all the events. And the event, what I'm going to be talking about at Alternatives is living on the edge of chaos while remaining sane. So it's very much about what we've been talking about. And it's, sure. I want to give practical advice. I'm hoping that's what I've given even in this short interview. It's practical advice, but it isn't flaky or, too optimistic. It's saying we all have to be honest with ourselves in this time. And that doesn't have to be painful. It can be freeing and exciting. And I know that a lot of people are feeling more in tune with their uniqueness than they've ever felt before. So I look forward to seeing you there, Tom, and anybody else who's been listening.
Yep. All I can say is, Christine Page, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.